10 most unique birds in the world. Long-wattled umbrella bird. This bird looks like it just came out of a hairdressing appointment. The umbrella bird is an exotic bird and can be found in very limited areas of western Colombia and Ecuador and reaches an impressive size of about 20 inches, making it easy prey for hunters. Males have an unusual 14-inch throat sac covered in feathers that resemble scales. During the mating period, the sac is inflated to attract females, with a low cry that sounds similar to a growl and bleat. They are also considered a vulnerable species by conservation specialists. These birds are frugivores, that is, they feed on fruits. Kakapo. The kakapo is a ground-dwelling flightless bird, currently in the risk of extinction due to the fact that we only have 125 of them left in the world. This is because of the colonization of New Zealand, where these birds are endemic to. This bird does not fly, but happens to be one of the longest living birds. These parrots are also very heavy and large, reaching a weight of about 7.7 pounds and a height of about 24 inches. Kakapos are common in New Zealand, and they are known to be extremely smart animals, getting attached to people who are kind to it. The king vulture. The king vulture are birds of prey just like all the other vultures, but these ones have a very unique appearance that make them stand out among their relatives. Their feathers are white with some grey and black along their tail, but the most impressive thing about them is their colourful head. The head can be anything between blue, purple, red, orange and yellow. They are New World birds, which means that they are native to the American continent, so you can find them in the tropical lowlands of Central and South America. They have also played an important role in ancient civilizations of the area, as they are one of the most depicted birds in the Maya codices, which are writing that date back to the time when the Spaniards had not colonized the lands. Teminx dragopan. The teminx dragopan is a medium-sized, up to 64 centimeters long, stocky red pheasant with white spotted plumage, black bill and pink legs. The teminx dragopan cock is an extremely bright-colored bird, mostly a rich shade of orange smothered with whitish ochre. He has a gorgeous blue face surrounded with black. Like all the dragopans, he has an amazing display and is able to inflate a pair of horns from his crown and a bib from the throat. The bib or lappet is particularly vivid with red and blue markings. These birds tend to be very lonely, shy, and as opposed to other birds in their group, they like to nest in trees. They can live in altitudes as high as 4,600 meters and they're friendly towards humans. Their diet includes fruits, seeds, buds and sprouts, supplemented by some insects from time to time. Frigate bird. Frigate birds are a family of seabirds called frigatidae, which are found across all tropical and subtropical oceans. The 5 extant species are classified in a single genus, Frigata. All have predominantly black plumage, long, deeply forked tails and long hooked bills. Females have white underbellies and males have a distinctive red galah pouch, which they inflate during the breeding season to attract females. Their wings are long and pointed and can span up to 2.3 meters, the largest wing area to body weight ratio of any bird. They usually prefer trees and lowlands or on the ground once they find a remote island to settle on. Since they are seabirds, they like to prey on fish and squid that come to the surface. These beautiful birds are considered kleptoparasites, which means that they literally tend to steal food from other birds, and sometimes they also snatch seabird chicks from their nests. They are monogamous and they only lay one egg for breeding season. Scarlet ibis. There are about 27 species of ibis in the world today, but none of them has a plumage as bright and colorful as that one of the scarlet ibis. The bird, as you probably figured out by now, has a brilliant scarlet coloration that makes it easy to spot among other birds. It is so colorful and unique that it became one of the 2 national birds of Trinidad and Tobago. This bird can be found in parts of South America and the Caribbean islands, and they have protected status throughout the world. One of the most important places for this bird is the canopy swamp in the island of Trinidad, which is a wetland reserve that was developed to provide the scarlet ibis with a safe space to live. These birds are very social and community-oriented. The Watsine. The Watsine is another pheasant-sized bird found in the swamps, mangroves and forests of the Amazon in South America. They are also known as stink birds because they spend most of their time lounging on branches digesting their food. As herbivores, their main source of food comes from fruits and leaves, and they also have a crop in their digestive system, which is a spot in which they store vegetable matter that later gets fermented. These birds have 2 claws on each of their wings, which they use for climbing trees and catching prey. This is the national bird of Guyana. Scarlet iwi. The scarlet iwi is a Hawaiian bird and is the 3rd most common native land bird in the Hawaiian Islands. They are also known as the Hawaiian honey creepers, and they are popular due to their peculiar red color and their long beak that they use to harvest nectar. While this feature, along with the way they hover in place, might remind you of hummingbirds, they are actually more related to finches, which is another family of birds that are also known for their strong beaks. They used to prefer the nectar of the lowbelly, but that sort of shipped in 1902, when those plants became less abundant. Instead they started to eat from other trees. They also like to eat arthropods, although the iwi is considered sacred by native Hawaiians, so this little one is currently threatened by diseases such as pallpox and avian malaria. But there are organizations in different parts of Hawaii that seek to preserve the species through the development of different nature reserves. Vulturine guinea fowl. An unusual long-necked, long-tailed guinea fowl with a mostly naked head. The blue breast is overlaid with long black and white feathers, and there is a chestnut patch on the nape. The vulturine guinea fowl, also known as the royal guinea fowl. Young ones are duller and brownish, but usually associate with adults. Found in dry savanna and thorn scrub, almost always in flocks, which vary from a few individuals up to dozens. Their main source of food comes from seeds and animals like rodents, insects and even small reptiles. Sometimes they also feed from fruits and other forms of vegetation. The call is an agitated sounding up and down rattling series, similar to the call of helmeted guinea fowl, but higher pitched. The shoebill stalk. The shoebill stalk is so unique that sometimes you might look at it and wonder whether you're staring at a bird or something else. Their large beak, which apparently looks like a big shoe, is big enough to dismember the fish, reptiles and even small birds. They live in the tropical parts of East Africa, all the way from South Sudan to Zambia, and they've been known for centuries. Even the ancient Arabs and Egyptians got to interact with them. They were so important that they even got documented in some petroglyphs found in eastern Algeria.